Okay, we're looking at the cage system for any key, 12 tones. That's a mighty bold statement there, partner. What are you talking about? 12 tones. I only see 5 keys here, C, A, G, E, D. Well, guess what? There's only 5 shapes, but there's 12 keys. Now on the piano, that it doesn't quite work that way. You can't use, I mean, I can go like this with my fingers and go that. Okay, that'll work with white keys. Okay, maybe it'll work, but I'd have to push the middle finger down if I was doing A flat. That's really not the same shape because piano's got a little bit of a Y direction to it. Because you have to push down further on the white keys if you're playing black keys on, surrounding it. How can we get all 12 keys, and how come this magic circle only has 5? Why isn't it fourths? Why isn't it fourths? Why isn't it in another thing, in another way? We were talking about it before. I can't remember what the other possibilities were. And the reason is when you're looking at a pattern stack, okay, it's the tuning that gives it this peculiarity. So let's look at the fretboard down here. If we want to play an E shape, it doesn't matter what the key is. It's the key of R. It says it right here, the key of R. Okay, I got to start the thing somewhere. I got to start the fretboard somewhere. So I'm going to start it on 7 and have this the root. Call E the root, call this a non-playable. But I just want to have it there. That's why it's black. It's non-playable. So I could call, all right, so if E is, if it's green, it's going to be an E. Okay, so that would be where the capo would be, like right here, because here's the green note, right? You can begin to see that green note, light green. Light green because dark green can get hard to see. So then now we have a fretboard. Now we have 12 tones. E. Okay, we've got starting on E. All the way, there's the 6th of E, the C sharp. So the numbers pertain to that being an E there. That's what those numbers pertain to. Okay? But what really changes this is the colors. The colors have locked it into the Andy colors. If there was no colors on this, so let's say that green didn't necessarily mean any particular key. Could be anything. And of course, yellow is going to be where that green would go. So if E goes to C, let's look at the magic circle. E goes to C, then C is going to go to G, which is red there. All right, back down here. So the G is red there. I think I lost my train of thought. We were talking about E going to C, right? And then C going to G. Now look, it skips one. We have an A in between there. That's because look at the way I had to lay these out, these tripentatonic boxes. So this is not only the E box or E shaped. It can be any key. It can be A flat, it can be D, it can be B flat, it can be A, it can be G, it can be C, it can be Scaramouche, it could be anything. chromatically down. That was supposed to be an F. So it could be anything, but these relationships up top here. So E is going. Look at the cage system. A pentatonic descending scale: C, A, G, E, D. Look at this: E, D, C, A, G, E, D. Right there. C, A, G, E, D. That is the cage system. Now look at the way I had to put these labels. They wouldn't fit. It's not just fitting a label in like, hey, I got to put this label here. I don't want it to look unimportant. I don't want it to be more than it is. So I've just circled them all out there. C, A, G, E, D, caged. But the placement of these labels has a little bit of significance too. If you look at this, just the top part, these boxes, these are actual boxes here. So this is the C box. Okay? The A box is here. The G tripentatonic box. Now that could, I'm not 100% sure where the tripentatonic box is slightly different, bigger usually, than that. And then of course the D box is here, it's just not showing. Goes over to here. Alright, so these are the boxes concerned here. Now, if you just look at the adjacent boxes, C next to G next to D, without any sharing of notes at all, what do we got? C goes to G, goes to D. D goes to A, goes to E. C goes to G, goes to D. A goes to E, goes to C. It's the same thing. These are adjacent pentatonic, tripentatonic scale boxes. That's the magic of that particular, that's just one instance of the magic circle. And another instance of the magic circle is that when we go up the patterns, these are unique. There's no other 3, 4, 5. There's 3, 4, 5, but that's 3, 4, 5. There's no other 3, 4, 5. That is unique. 6, 7 root is unique. 2, 3, 5 is unique. 5, 6 is unique. And 7 root 2 is unique. And again, as we go through these and assign a letter to each of these, there's only 5 different ones. The 3, 4, 5. The 6th string was a repeat. We're going to give this the D name. This one is the E shape. This one's the G. This is the A. And this is the C. Does anybody know why? Because when you play an open C on your guitar, the E becomes the 3rd of C. When you play an open A on your guitar, the E becomes the 5th of A. When you play a G on your guitar, the E becomes the 6th of G. When you play an E on your guitar, the B becomes the 7th of G. Let's do that again. An E on the guitar, okay, let's do the D. D on your guitar, the E becomes the 2nd. Bam, bam. When you do an E on your guitar, an E shape, which is the root here now, the 7, the E becomes the 7th. Okay, and you can't do an E shape tripentatonic unless you play it in F. 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2. So this is a little tricky here, but it works. If it works around it, it works where the middle part is.